Schneider, please.
Shalom. My name is Yisroel Schneider. I want to talk about a little bit about the first time Lekuti mahoran. Very strange, very strange. The Rebbe says that we don't have chen. The Jewish people don't have chen, and therefore there's a problem that our tefillos are not accepted. How can this be? In Shach we say, Aboiche ba'amo yisroel b'yavo. And in Arvis we say, Oyev amo Yisrael. We say that Hashem loves us, and then we daven, right? So we have no right to expect that tefillos would be accepted. I mean, whose tefillos would be accepted if not the tefillos of Am Yisrael? That we bring that the Torah is Malachain Lamdeh, okay. Right? So you want to okay. Simple pshat. Somebody learns Torah has chen. Definitely. Spiritual people have chen. Anybody who has eyes sees that. But this is a condition for the acceptance of our tefillos. Then when he talks about you have to be mistakel b'seichel shel kol davar, and that's the ches, and then you have to have the nun, and the ches and the nun are combined to learning Torah. The Torah malachain ulamdeh, so we get chen, and that's a tefillos on this couple. Like this, there's no room in Hashem's heart to accept our prayers unless we have chen. What is going on? One way of understanding this, maybe what the Rebbe is saying. The Rebbe is like the first modern person, if we can say that. The Rebbe saw that people were living in a world that was gone. The world was changing. Things are changing. There's the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the French Revolution. This happened when the Rebbe was very young, the American Revolution. The Rebbe was 5 years old when the shots were fired at Concord. And the world is changing. And the problem is that we're addicted. We're addicted to the past. The clothes we have to wear. We should try to wear the clothes. It seems this is an hug of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov also knows that the world was going to change, and he did not want the Shlomi Amuni Yisrael to walk around dressed like Goyim. So he said, that's it. The way I'm dressed, this is the way I'm going to keep on being dressed until Mashiach comes. I don't know where it says this, or if it does say this, but this seems to be what happened. And when we say that we have to hold for them, for someone that at least they keep, the levush, whatever it is, each chassidus with their special levush is very beautiful. But you can't think in old terms. Things have changed, and we have to move forward. And if our prayers are as if we're living 2,000 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, or 500 years ago, or 200 years ago, then our prayers are not discovered because we're cutting against the grain. We have to be with it. This is Zionism. The Rebbe is the first Zionist. Again, so forgive me. So the Rebbe says if we are addicted to the past, the Fatima Rebbes, they'll forgive me. They're addicted individuals, they'll forgive me, I hope. They're addicted to outmoded thinking. To chululi, lo shayach, ma shetam bim lo shayach. Forget it. It's all old stuff. It's not shayach anymore. You have to live with the reality. And the Rebbe says in Siman Kov Zayin that we have to be masbirim zealous there. Nachon, a person sometimes he's caught up in old thinking, so I have to explain to, excuse me, you're not talking Inyan. We're in a different place now, a different place, a different time. We have to, our thinking, our seichel, our feelings have to be according to reality. And of course, the says we have to have the known. If we only use the seichel, we can end up thinking like Marx. We can end up thinking all types of interpreting history completely. Marx was totally convinced he was interpreting history accurately, but he was not. And that's why you have to have the known. You have to have the known that it has to be according to the Torah. It has to be according to that we're going towards the Geula. And Mashiach is going to come. That's the only reality. And somebody who thinks differently is an idiot. And, okay, so we have to have Shuma and I were speaking recently about a certain leader that he was kicked out of the yeshiva because he had different ideas in his Rosh Yeshiva. Now, I don't know what happened with this Rosh Yeshiva. He was a forward-thinking person without mentioning any names, but he didn't believe in the Bill of Rights. He never read the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech. What's with him? Let the Talmud say what he's saying. What? Free speech must be in the day. Then we could demand someone comes on. You have to be marked in the day. You have to share opinions. This also has to do with the...
Rabbi Schneider.
Yes, sir.
Did I tell you? I found the whole story is printed in detail in another book.
You told me about that he spoke on Lag BaOmer this easily, and the Rosh Yeshiva became irritated, and he had a sit-down strike. He didn't come to speak in the yeshiva until they kicked the boy out. Very, very sad. No, it's ridiculous. What are people afraid? What? We have to share ideas. This is the seichel shebachol davar. Not each person. One person thinks that he has a monopoly. Only he understands. Oy. So, Shia Tov, Shira Moshe Tzekenu, B'meir Ymeinu, Amen, Amen, Shabbat Shalom, Avrach, Kol Tov.
Thank you, Kol Tov. Thank you, Rabbi Schneider.